Hello again, everyone. This is Victoria English, top coach with Project 90. I am so glad to be back here. I've been out of the loop with the podcasts for a while. We are so busy here at Alcohol Free Lifestyle, and I am so lucky, blessed to be the head coach, to work so closely with James. It's also been a busy time. My daughter graduated from middle school. She's starting high school in the fall. We moved. My younger sister graduated from college, so I was over in Boston. And then, unfortunately, I finally got bit by the COVID bug, and that really knocked me out. And I sounded like a frog for a while. So I'm really happy to be back. And thank you to James for holding space for me when I was so busy and unwell. Feels good to be back on point. As I was thinking about the dynamic I have in my working relationship and friendship with James, and a lot of the things happening in our business, the word karma came to mind. And I don't know if you believe in that kind of stuff, or if you call it energy or juju or God or whatever you call it, but that thing that seems to be bigger than us, that kind of comes along in our lives for different reasons, often to teach us. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit today. Karma and alcohol. Are you pushing the boundaries? Are you pushing karma? We'll get to that in a minute. But before we do, I want to remind you that you can get your hands on the Alcohol Freedom Formula. It's a free download. What's better than that? Simply go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/guide. We also have a link in the show notes about booking a discovery call. It'll be with me or another amazing alcohol-free lifestyle coach. 15 minutes. It's a chat that could really change your life. Change has to start somewhere. And this is a great place to start. Just listening to this podcast is a big deal. You are in the process of change, of transformation, of evolving. And I'd like to just invite you to give yourself a pat on the back for that, because you are moving in the right direction. And booking a call with one of us will just put you on an incredible path. You know what drinking is like. Maybe you don't remember what it's like to not drink, but millions of people are giving up alcohol. We've helped over 20,000 here at Alcohol Free Lifestyle. So I think we're on to something, and I'd love to bring you along on this ride. So check the show notes, click the link, book a call. Can't wait to talk with you. We also have a YouTube channel. Would love for you to support that. Just go on to YouTube and look us up, or the link is also in the show notes. Remember, this is for high performers. And I mean personally, professionally. Look at me trying to get my groove back. Personally, professionally, in the home, outside of the home. If you are accustomed to getting things done, if you're accustomed to solving problems, and this alcohol thing just doesn't seem solvable, come on over and join us. Let's see if you're a fit. We may not be the right fit for each other, and that's okay. In 2022, there's more than one path to getting this alcohol thing behind you. But get on a path, and maybe it'll be with us. So, back to karma. During your drinking career, maybe this is happening now, actually. Have you ever gotten a sense that something bad is going to happen? I'm not saying that to be doom and gloom, but you can't have light without shadows in the world. And do you ever get the feeling that things just aren't going to be okay? I'm a natural optimist. I am the finder of silver linings. It's one of my favorite things about myself. It's helped me through a lot of tough times like cancer, um, divorce, my drinking. But I'll tell you something, toward the end, I had this pit in my stomach, like something was going to go really wrong if I didn't make a change. I remember feeling just overwhelmed because I had stopped so many times and always gone back to the stuff. And I was really down on myself. I even had moments where I'd think, well, maybe I should just let whatever's going to happen because I just can't seem to beat this. But like everyone listening, I have something inside of me, the human spirit, and it gave me just enough faith in myself to put one foot in front of the other. So you have that in you. There's nothing special about me. I'm a human. You're a human. There's nothing special about me that I got hooked on alcohol. I'm a human. You're a human. You'll hear me say, if you have a body and a brain, this can happen to you. It can happen. It has happened. But that little seed, that human spirit, can be the catalyst for taking you out of it, putting you on a path to change. So, looking back, I look at that as the universe and karma. I've heard it said that the universe, aka karma, will start with a whisper. It'll whisper in your ear, hey, this isn't okay. You should make a change. And then it turns into a tap on the shoulder. Then it can turn into a little shove. Finally, it can feel like you're being hit up the side of your head. Have you ever had that happen to you? It can be scary, right? Kind of like you're just waiting for the next hit. It's a really tough way to live. And it's not good for us. It's not good for our sleep. It's not good for our vibration. It's not good for our adrenal glands, our cortisol levels, because we're in that constant state of heightened fear, the fight or flight. So I was thinking about this karma thing, and while we're drinking, karma and drinking, and I came across an interesting article about the 7 laws of karma. And I'm going to read them to you, and I'd just like you to take a moment and think about them. Think about how alcohol could be showing up with your karma. Number 1 is the great law. Whatever we put into the universe will come back to us. Now, I really doubt that any of our listeners are bad people. I don't think any of you are out there doing wretched things. I sure wasn't. But what was I really putting into the universe? What are you putting into the universe? Even if it's something as simple as going to the store and checking out, but you're there with a hangover, or you're in a fight with somebody, one of your family members, over your drinking. What are you putting out into the universe when you interact with people in the store? Are you putting out something good and positive? Or are you being short and temperamental, irritable, complaining? When you're in your cycle of drinking, do you find that more of that comes back to you? Negativity, criticism, chaos? Number 2, the law of creation. Life does not happen by itself. We need to make it happen. This can be a tough one. Well, for high performers, it can be an easy one in lots of areas, right? If you're listening to this and you are accomplished in one or more areas of life, you can get stuff done. You create. You may have created businesses. You create sales. You create products. You create ideas. You solve challenges. Well, we all know those things don't just happen, right? If they did, everybody would have a successful career. So why do we look at alcohol differently? Why do we think that somehow this alcohol thing is going to figure itself out? Is it your ego? Is it pride? Is it shame? We know those things aren't going to attract anything good. Why don't you put those aside and just look at this as creation? Is everything wonderful that's created in the world created by one person? No, collaboration. And so, what if making this alcohol thing happen isn't all about you doing it? What if it's coming into a community of like minded people? Our community, if you join us, if you're invited to join us, you're not just going to be in there with a bunch of people who have a drinking problem. You're going to be in with like minded individuals. We put a tremendous amount of effort into curating a specific type of community so that when you come in, you feel like you have found your people. You found your tribe. I found my tribe. I hear that so often in our group. And so if you're going to make it happen, why don't you team up with some other brilliant folks? And if I do say so myself, a good coach or two. Let's collaborate. Let's make it happen.
Is it time to give your liver a break? Have you been punishing your liver for many years with seemingly innocent alcohol use? If so, I invite you to show your liver some love by enjoying natural supplements from my supplements company, Swan Vitality. The Swan Vitality Liver Cleanse contains my own concentrated formula of powerful natural antioxidants scientifically designed to cleanse the liver and support blood circulation. Just take 3 capsules every day with your evening meal with a half glass of water, and you will love the results you will see and feel. Swan Vitality is 100% natural, safe, and effective. To get started on your Swan Vitality journey, I'm inviting you to enjoy 15% off your first order. Just go to swanvitality.com and use the code James at checkout. That's swanvitality.com. Use the code James at checkout to trigger your 15% off.
Number 3, the law of humility. One must accept something in order to change it. Oh, that's a tough one. That can be a tough one on a lot of fronts for high achievers. What else have you had trouble accepting in life? And what's your response been? Has it been to push even harder to get your desired outcome? I can relate to that. If I push hard enough, I can make this be true. I learned a big lesson in that when I had breast cancer. And I certainly learned one when it came to drinking. One must accept something in order to change it. In Project 90, we don't use stigmatized language like alcoholic or recovery. Now, that does not mean that some of you don't meet the criteria for alcohol use disorder. A lot of you might, but the word alcoholic sometimes, not all the time, can be very challenging for people, triggering a lot of shame and things like that. So we don't want you going into the shame spiral. I gave that up. I got off that staircase. But you do have to be realistic. So part of that is accepting that this alcohol thing is a problem. And I'm going to tell you a hard truth. It's not going to go away on its own. It will take active effort. You can't get it by listening to the podcasts or listening to or getting a book. It helps. It's support. But becoming alcohol-free is a very, very personal journey. And so part of it is accepting that this is not going to go away on its own and having an ounce of faith, like that little ounce of human spirit, having an ounce of faith that there's a way out of this, that there are people in this world who can light your path so that you find your truth. But it does start with that one big truth. It's not going away on its own. And chances are extremely high, it's only going to get worse. That's a hard fact, but it's true. Alcohol misuse is a progressive thing. So if you're listening to this and you're 45 and you don't do something about this, I could almost guarantee that at 50, you'll look back and wish you could only drink like you did at 45. Is what it is. We're adults. You're a grown up. You can be humble about some of these things because it's going to lead you to empowerment. And that feels really good. Number 4, the law of responsibility. We must take responsibility for what is in our lives. Well, here we are. Look, you've heard me say, this can happen to anyone. Alcohol's a highly addictive substance, highly addictive. It's no joke. And it's not just socially accepted to drink alcohol, it's expected. What a scam, right? Oh, it ticks me off. But it is what it is. And so, look, we bought what they were selling, literally. We bought the stories we were told about what drinking would be like. And maybe it was fun for a while. Now it's not fun. If you're listening to this, it's not fun anymore, or not fun enough to keep it up. So it's not necessarily your fault because you were just drinking a highly addictive substance that you are supposed to use. It even says on the bottle, drink responsibly, which also ticks me off because it's a drug. Drugs aren't meant to be used responsibly. But not your fault is different from not your responsibility. It is your responsibility to do something about this. It's your responsibility toward yourself and toward your family and friends. It is your responsibility. Because if you're listening to this, you know the truth. You know this alcohol thing is a problem. And you can't unsee that. I'm not going to let you. Because I offer hope. We offer solutions. So yeah, it can be an uncomfortable truth, but it is. And how cool that there's a way out. But it starts with responsibility. Number 5, the law of change. History repeats itself until we learn from it and change our path. Oh, I can relate to this on several levels. Have you ever had a lesson show up and they're just wearing a different color shirt? Can anyone relate to that? Could be in relationships, could be in your career. Same thing keeps happening. It just looks a little different, but it feels the same. And you go, why does this feel familiar? It's a different person, a different environment, because the feelings are the same. That is going to happen with your drinking. It already is happening. History repeats itself. How many times are you going to say, I quit on your own, and then go back to it? Pay attention and listen. Listen to the lessons in there. What is the lesson? I'd like you to think about that for a second. What is the lesson in this happening again and again and again? Aren't you tired of it visiting you? I got tired of it visiting me. I finally took the hint. I said, okay, all right. If I could do this myself, I would have already. And I found my people and I did put it behind me. And now I'm lucky enough that I get to be one of your people. And so does James. And so does everyone in our incredible community. Number 6, the law of patience and reward. The most valuable rewards require persistence. Okay, we are all adults. We have all had delayed gratification. We can tolerate that in other areas of life. But when you are dealing with addiction and you are on the spectrum of addiction, it's a very broad spectrum. But if you're listening, yes, there are some addictive pathways in your brain that are being lit up like a Christmas tree. And that's okay. It's just a word. But when we are on the spectrum of addiction, we lose our patience, don't we? We want our rewards right away. Well, part of that is from the substance itself. Alcohol gives us an unnatural high, an unnatural hit of dopamine. And so that reward center gets fired up really fast and very furiously. We have to kind of untangle that and realize that patience isn't easy to come by at times. But guess what? You're in a community and you've got coaches that you can talk to about that. You may get impatient. You may want this to happen overnight. Well, you didn't have a problem with drinking for a night. So it's not going to get behind you in a night, overnight, right? So, yep, a little bit of patience, but the reward is worth it. Like I said, we've helped over 20,000 people. We're on to something. It's got to be worth it. If it weren't, James and I would still be sipping. We're not. We're sipping other things, and we're doing other things that hit that reward center in our brain, our pleasure center, because we all need that, guys. And we're humans. We are pleasure-seeking creatures. We found things that light up that reward center in the brain without any consequences. How cool is that? We get our cake and the icing on top. It's worth it. You've had to have patience in other areas, and it may not have even had this much of a reward. So, like I said, book that call. Finally, the law of significance and inspiration. I love this one. Rewards are a result of the energy and effort we put into it. I think this puts work hard, play hard in a whole different light. Rewards are a result of the energy and effort we put into it. You know, Project 90 is an investment of lots of things. It's a financial investment, it's a time investment, but I would challenge any of you to find an investment with the rewards that this program brings. Honestly, if you can think of one thing in which you could invest, and I say that tongue in cheek given the investment world today, but can you think of anything where your investment would pay off? And this is only payoffs that you can imagine right now while you're still in the cycle of drinking. They're too numerous to list. I mean that. And I was one of those people who's went, I don't know. I mean, is it really that great? No, I was just like that. So if you're thinking that, I've already thought it. But where else could you put your time and some money and get your life back? Be able to dream again. Be able to plan new adventures. Be able to make significant improvements in your health, your blood work. Oh my gosh. I remember today talking about his blood work. I mean, a complete turnaround in less than 3 months. He's off his blood pressure meds. It's crazy. Where could you get that? Where do you get more bang for your buck? Dollar buck or energy buck? How much energy are you pouring into thinking about drinking, recovering from drinking? What if you poured some of that into our program? What would that be like? Well, the rewards are a result of the energy and effort you put into it. So I'm going to say it. It is worth it. It's the best thing I've ever done for myself. And I've done a lot of cool things. This has been the best in the way that it has helped me, in the way that it has impacted my health, my mental health, my self-esteem, my relationship with myself, and my relationships with my kids. Oh man, I wouldn't trade that for millions of dollars. I wouldn't. And I can promise it doesn't cost that to join Project 90. Not even close. So, something to think about. Are you tempting fate? Are you messing with karma? Time to get on the good side of stuff, guys. Go ahead and book that call. Check out the show notes. Click on the link. Thanks for your patience. You know, since COVID, I'm not going to lie, I've had a couple of a little bit of brain fog, searching for words, mixing words up. Crazy. So if I stumble a little, thank you for understanding. But hey, I'm not stumbling because I've been drinking. Until next time, I am wishing you all the best. I'm here for you. James is here for you. Our community is here for you. Let's make the summer of 2022 one to remember. All right, till next time, guys, stay cool and have an awesome day.
Here are 5 ways I can support you on your health journey. Number 1, the Better AF group support. You can go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/betteraf. That is group virtual coaching to help you to stop drinking. The YouTube channel at alcoholfreelifestyle.com/YouTube. The book, Alcohol Freedom Formula, can be found at alcoholfreelifestyle.com/guide. My liver cleanse from my supplements company, Swan Vitality, at swanvitality.com. And protect your eyes from screens by wearing a pair of Swannies blue light blocking glasses from my sleep company, Swanic Sleep. You can find that at swannies.com. Catch you on the next one.